Hello guys, and welcome back to another one. We've dipped our toes into the nations yet again because Monza has tempted us back in. It's a DR killer, an SR killer, but we don't give a damn when you manage to survive it. It's always a great fun race. Qualified in 7th. This is a one make one. I think the compulsory tyres was the hards. People trying to get them warmed up. Is there any shit to go down? You see, our tactic yet again is always to stay in the middle of the track. If anyone behind mistimes their braking, to have left and right to avoid you, as we get a nudge in the back, and we'll come back over on Mr. Racing, Mr. MG Racing, and give him a wee nudge, letting him know, don't you dare take advantage of that nudge that you just did on us, whether it was your fault or not, sir. And he does indeed, he falls in behind us. And on the cold, hard tyres, we have mistimed the chicane, the second chicane, and straight away we're under a bit of pressure. We'll bounce outside. Up the inside goes Mr. Racing. There's nothing we can do now. He's got the spot on us. We're going to have to back out. Let him have that one. And he's got poor drive out of that. So again, side by side, looks like we're going to make our way past him. And there's a few behind us. A poor opening lap, but at the moment, and again having to go defensive, just losing more time on the guys in front. Hopefully we will have some sort of pace in us to try and get ourselves back in the battle, rather than start focusing on this battle that we find ourselves in at the moment. We were also hoping in this race that a lot of the guys might have been starting on the medium tyres, so we are hoping that our second stint of this one will be slightly more competitive for us. Number 16 on the door, as he's coming for another move at us. Mr. Tiger, has he made that one stick? He's backed out at the last minute with time to braking quite well there, and lost it back in. It's going to be a lack of drive out of this one. I believe Mr. Gunman was the guy who created this livery. Thank you, Mr. Gunman. Mr. Cleo RS out front, the three Spaniards running away with this one. And still we are under. We're in a tricky spot here at the moment, and down another spot we go. We're certainly going to have to give that one up. There's no way coming back at that, but a bit of an undercut will do the trick, just what the doctor ordered. Still in the top 8, and we do have number 16 on the car, so a good number for us. A lot of improving possible for us in this room. I believe this was, we dipped our toes in the Monza 2 or 3 times on this occasion. I think our first effort, we were put to the back, I believe, in one of the chicanes. It all went wrong for us, although we managed to come back and finish around about where our number was and not lose any ratings. Very similar in the second race. We picked up a 2-second penalty in the first chicane with a small nudge in the back of, I believe it was JJ, and that dropped us away down to the back of the field. But again, we've managed to enjoy the race and have a pretty good comeback and finish around about where we were meant to finish. And now we're wanting to finish in front of where we're meant to finish. The FIA seems to think that we're only capable of a top 16 here with a big number 16 on the door. Can we surprise them, finding ourselves in a wee bit of space? We'll have a small skip during this point of the race. We'll see if anyone goes to get a run on us. He's looking quite close now. Is there a run coming? Mr. Racing. 2 guys behind me with racing in their name, and I don't know why, but that makes me nervous when we've seen that there was a guy with a racing name behind us. We felt like, oh, he's going to want to race, he's going to want to pass us and throw one up the inside, no doubt. But surely the British Mr. Racing guy has to be fancying a wee run on us on this lap on the way into the first corner. Is he getting the drive? Is he getting the drive? He pulls out. Let's go on board. No, he's backed out of that one as well. So a wee bit of confidence, perhaps. We'll have gained a bit of confidence. The fact that he didn't lunge one there on us. And we've got a small gap now. Hopefully he shouldn't be coming back at us in this one either. Well, I absolutely love Monza. It can be an absolute nightmare and a disaster, but it is one of my most enjoyable fun races to have. When you do have a nice clean race, it is one of the best tracks for good close racing, where there could be a big bunch of yous all in the battle. Very nervous, a lot of tension in these races, for myself anyway. Still in a wee bit of space. We'll take this opportunity to go for the skip and hope that it gets a bit spicier a bit later on as the race goes on. Again, Mr. Racing keeping us thinking about him, and we are a fair bit slower whenever we've got guys on our ass, and we're always thinking about them. And again, we're having to go defensive. Mr. Racing deciding to take some side-to-side action, but he's got to be nervous now. I've been in that position before. It's not a good position to be in. You can be pushed out there so easily. He makes a good decision and backs out of this one. And again, we're having to go defensive. We would quite like these ahead of us, no doubt, because we're losing time here. If we can get an opportunity to get these guys in front of us without losing any time ourselves, surely we'll be taking that. And again, he's too close, he's making us nervous. We don't want to find ourselves on the outside of anyone the way in this. That would be a huge time loss. And now surely we're not going to defend it now. He's close enough, there should be a run. We get over to the outside to let him know we don't want it anymore. It's your turn, sir. Take me places. Let's see where we can end up. We're now the meat in a sandwich of 2 racings. You see, we give him a small, gentle booty tap, just to let him know to hit your own line. We don't want that stuff. Not just yet anyway. Nice and safe on the way into that one. And AMG racing behind us. Hopefully we've gained a wee bit of confidence in him there as well, as he was really nice and patient on the way into that one as well. And we've got 1 Thor 3 showing his face in 3rd place there. So there's 2 Spaniards. There was 3 Spanish guys. Now, is that a Swedish flag? I'm not sure what sort of flag that is. Let's say it could be sweet. You never know. Probably not. We probably haven't got a clue on our flags, but who gives a damn? We know the British flag, we know the French flag, we know the Spanish. Again, we'll be quite happy now here. The immediate pressure that we had been under and losing time is off for us now. And we're just hoping that Mr. Racing can take us places. Let's go for another skip. And perhaps the guy behind us. Still no run on us as of yet. Penalty up ahead. The legend, that is Mick, the Spanish guy. No doubt we'll be hoping that the legend can take us places. Although we're making the move on him. Will he let us back in? He does indeed. Are we still just clinging into that slipstream? I do believe we are. We'll hop back outside. Is there a run for anyone to be had this lap? It doesn't look like it. Halfway through the race basically. And we're around about where we were. Nothing has happened for us at the moment. A bit nervous, having to drive slightly defensive for a few laps of the race, but we've started to settle back down now. And as I say, we are hoping in our heads that a lot of these guys might be on the medium tyres, so we're getting an extra wee bit of speed out of these hard tyres just because we're in the slipstream. Looks like we're making our way back up on Mr. Racing in 7th. And he's no doubt pretty happy with a 7th position, as he's a big number 18 in the room. Be a lot of improving for himself. Clio RS still your leader. STR in 2nd. Again, the 3 letters before a name, an indication of speed, and it does not let you down. And we're nice and tight in that slipstream now. Are we thinking, do we want to move now? Is it time for us to start moving forward again? Or when is the pit stop? When are we due a pit stop? He's got the hazards on. Hey, he's coming in. Are we following him? We are. The pit stop is now. What were they on? They were on medium tyres, so we should have an advantage on those guys in the next stint. Yet again, the mechanics doing a fabulous job here today. They never let us down. It's like they're not even real. It's like they're virtual people. They have never made a mistake once. Outstanding work. And again, we knew on the way in that day he was on mediums, so we wanted that shit off him immediately. We know he's on cold hards, but once we found ourselves on the outside in the second part of that again, we were terrified. The penalties seemed to have went backwards in terms of when they didn't update. I was quite happy with the penalties. I thought that they had put it back to pretty decent penalties, which we could all live with. I don't think there's always going to be complaints, but they were pretty decent penalties. And then right before this round, they must have did another update which put the penalties back to ridiculous. Any kind of contact whatsoever seemed to be handing out silly penalties. And we learnt this. We didn't even realise about the update until this night, whenever we done a manufacturer race as well on one of the Tokyo tracks, which was ridiculous. The amount of penalties that we received for next to no contact whatsoever. Perhaps more contact would have been created if I had have done a foul on the way past some guys. That would have been larger contact, and me and the other guy received 2 seconds each of penalties in the other race. So we stopped doing the other race straight away after one attempt at it. We were like, no, that's too risky. But Monza still dragged us in. And we've got a bit of pressure now off our ass, and we're up in the 8th. And there's a wee bunch. There's more than a wee bunch. There's a top 5 just on up round the corner, and we all know the team throws a pit party for top 5s, and we usually get a wee livery sometimes for a top 5 as well. But it's all about the pit party, because these pit parties that the team throw are just almost like they're imaginary pit parties, because they're just outstanding. The barbecue's the biggest barbecue you'll ever see. There's free alcohol everywhere you look. I think in the last one there was a couple of flying elephants, pink ones, believe it or not. Can we get a move done? Mr. Tiger dropping back to 7th place. Can we take advantage of that as well? It's getting a bit close. It's getting a bit close. It doesn't look like we want it. No, we don't want it. We're lifting nice and gentle, trying to concentrate on our exit. Slow in, fast out. Can we get a run on him now this time? Could we even get to our nose to the outside? We've got a nose to the outside. Surely that slipstream will come back to us. Is there any kind of cut back to be had on him in this one? No, he's parked himself quite nicely on the apex. Nothing to be had just yet. Still, Mr. Cleo, the Spaniard, and his fellow Spaniard, SRT, Estif, if that's correct, Andre Matti has made his way up into 3rd. And I think the cars at the very front of this group that you've seen exiting the chicane, that is your leader. We're certainly not in that battle at the moment, but I must be thinking to myself, there's a top 5 available for sure here. We've had an incident-free race at the moment. Let's hope it stays incident-free. We're needing to make a move now on Mr. Tiger, as Mr. Tiger seems to be struggling, and he's gonna turn it into a battle for 7th place. If we don't make a move on him, we're not getting any better than 7th. Surely we can get a move done. Do we go for a move this time? No, we're still keeping our patience. We're still being a true gentleman on the track, but the laps are ticking away. 4 to go at the end of this one. Very important now that we get a move done on Mr. Tiger. You can see the battle, the top 6, or the guy in 6th, is getting away. And the guys behind us, we're getting dragged into a battle here for 7th, 8th and 9th, when we'd much prefer to be looking forward. Come on, son, go for it this time. Surely we're going for the lunge. It has to be done. Job done. Head down. Let's see if we can get back up into a slipstream. There is a wee bunch of 4 of them 4 to go. 7th place. Pretty good for us, considering our big number on the tour. But there's more left in this for us, hopefully, before the end. You know how much we love a top 5. We must be thinking to ourselves, we want that top 5 so damn bad. And they're all pretty close. They're about to start battling. They will be pulling away from us on the straights because they're all in the slipstreams. But when it comes to the corners, any side-by-side action between them at all will be slowing them down. Surely we will be invited to join that party pretty soon. Any kind of side-by-side action, and we will hopefully be right in the party. They're still being nice and patient with each other, and there's our first bit of side-by-side action at the front. Surely there's going to be side-by-side action this lap into the first corner between the lot of them, and we will be in the battle for sure. 3 laps left to go in this one. Can we get ourselves into that all-important top 5? More side-by-side action, and it is official. We are officially at the party. We have arrived. We're definitely in that slipstream now. Although the guy at the front in the blue, looking like if he gets a couple of clean corners, he could be away. But he didn't get that one too good. They're all still right here. What about like the guy behind us? We've still got a nice wee bit of breathing space. And a couple of guys making their way up slowly but surely. They're being invited up into this battle as well. Back on board. More side-by-side action between the guys in front of us. Can we take advantage with Mr. Apex there ourselves? And there was 2 laps to go. My goodness. There is actually a top 3 there that is possible. Although the top 5 is more likely what's in her head at the moment. Oh, and I remember that wee bit. There was a wee bump and we were panicking, thinking Gran Turismo and your silly penalties, but we got away with it. Mr. Gangley was the man who picked up the penalty there, and we're now wanting past him. The guy at the front of this now, Mr. Matty, looking like he's about to leave this wee bunch of us and get away. Still, we keep our patience. If that had been the last lap, I suspect we would have been making a lunge up the inside there. But we'll keep our patience, knowing that we're still in the battle with these other guys as well, and he does have a penalty. Try and get ourselves up nice and close to the back of him. Again, missing an apex, but doesn't really affect our drive as he pulls out of the way and serves his penalty like the naughty boy is. And we've now got a top 5 right in front of us with 1.5 laps to go. What do we like behind? We've still got a bit of pressure from behind us. as we come to the end of lap 14, the gentleman behaviour that we have displayed, this whole race will surely now be out the window if an opportunity arises. Surely we're not gonna refuse that shit. We shall be on top of that like a dog on a piece of meat. As the last lap starts, we're busting our balls for a top 5, and again we're gonna get another bit of side by side into the first corner, and we're trying to position ourselves just nice what's going down in front of us, and that's what's going down. An old Gran Turismo 3 for the price of one sale opens up on the last lap, and we're thinking to ourselves, we're round about now, fuck a top 5, there's a battle of bubbly right in front of us for third place. We're going aggressive now, we're not being nice with Mr. 143. We're keeping him pinned in there. I might go for the lunge. It has to be done on the last lap. Can we get stopped? The FIA officials are looking at that. Did we get a penalty for that? The FIA have a good think about it, and they think that was totally fucking legal. When we're now in ultra defensive mode, the car does not want to slow down, doesn't want to turn for us. Very slow in that corner, and again we're very slow in this corner, and you can tell how slow we are. Look at the mayhem that we're causing behind us. That is what you call pressure on the ass area. My goodness, if we didn't shit the pants with that amount of pressure on the ass area, then we've done very well. Again, having to defend it, sending them all to the outside. We've defended it successfully one more time, and we need one more corner. Can we defend this and bring home a battle of bubbly? One more corner to defend. Let's try and park it on the apex. The threat coming from this guy right on us rather than anyone else. Do we get stopped enough? We do. We get stopped in front of him. We come over to squeeze him. We squeeze him. And apologies, it didn't matter in the end that we still crossed the line with a nose in front of him. But yes, apologies for squeezing you. It should not have handed out a 1 second penalty. It was just us being aggressive on the last lap and squeezing him as much as we could. But my goodness, we enjoyed that one. That was a thrilling end to a fantastic, enjoyable race for us. Catch us in the next one.